During the Democracy Forum, Barack Obama alleged that one side, referring to the Republican Party, is more than likely to rig an election using various methods and institutions in order to do so.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in a permanent grip on power.
He says that they do so by doing things such as suppressing votes,
either by actively suppressing votes,
weaponizing the military,
or politicizing the armed forces,
using the judiciary system to go after political opponents,
or using the judiciary, the criminal justice system to go after opponents.
Not gonna lie to y'all, all this stuff sounds really familiar, and it doesn't sound like it's might gonna happen eventually in the future. Didn't it already happen? Wasn't it Barack Obama's party that did it?
Well, I'm not sure.
I mean, wasn't it Tom Perez, the DNC chair of your party, who had to go on a unity tour with Bernie Sanders for not only suppressing votes, but for outright cheating? And the Democratic Party had to literally admit this. And I don't know about weaponizing the military, but I do know that the Democrats actively weaponized the intelligence community against Trump and all of his enemies. I mean, it was y'all that worked alongside Andrew McCabe, James Comey, and the FBI and the CIA to push the bullshit Russiagate theory, right? And y'all did that to get the election overturned in favor of Hillary Clinton. And it was the Democrats who literally were giving debate questions to Hillary in 2016. That was Donna Brazile, right? Oh, and it was the Democrats who were cheating and keeping people off the debate stage in 2020. And it was the Democrats who got caught using an illegal app and other election rigging tactics during the Iowa caucus of 2020. And it was the Democrats who made sure that there was basically no primary whatsoever so that Joe Biden would go unchallenged, right? And it was the Democrats who literally used the justice system against Donald Trump like yesterday. I think he counts as a political opponent. Not only have they used the justice system against Donald Trump, they've used the justice system against Jill Stein and other political enemies. In fact, when he was asked by a woman during his campaign, how do we ensure that his election will be fair, he literally says, I'm from Chicago, so I have to be honest. I know for a fact it isn't only Republicans who rig elections.
I would just like to know what you can say to reassure us that this election will not be rigged or stolen.
Well, I tell you what, it helps in Ohio that we got Democrats in charge of the machines. So I want to be honest. It's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too. You know, whenever people are in power, they have this tendency to try to, tilt things in their direction.
And as far as being worried about that one side that might rig the election, why don't we worry about the side that admitted in a court of law that it's your right to rig an election and we can't do anything about it? Because that's what the Democratic attorneys argued during the DNC fraud lawsuit. And don't get me wrong, everybody. I'm not stupid. I know Republicans rig elections too. To be perfectly clear, rigging elections in the United States is as American as apple pie, football, mass shootings, funding genocide, things like that. Honestly, when our elections aren't rigged and we get a result that we're not expecting, everyone either is really surprised, super suspicious, or both. But let's get one thing straight. There's only been one side that has had the capacity to rig at a massive scale while simultaneously trying to punish, and successfully in some cases, punishing their political opponents, putting them in jail, criminalizing their family, destroying people's relationships, destroying people's public images, winning 102% of some precincts around the country, winning 99% of mail-in ballots in some cases, sending the FBI to raid the home of a former president. I mean, do I really need to go on? And I know some people might make the argument, well, if Democrats are so good at rigging elections, how did Kamala lose? Well, that answer is pretty simple. Just because you try to rig an election doesn't mean you're always successful. And Kamala was just that bad of a candidate. But this total lack of self-awareness by Barack Obama and really the rest of his party is exactly why they keep losing. They always want to look to and blame everyone else. but never really want to look in the mirror and address the issues that have made the working class people turn away from the Democratic Party and go elsewhere.